Understanding Explore Test Results. This video will help you to better understand and interpret your score report you received for this fall's Explore test. It will also provide more information on the college readiness benchmarks, as well as strategies and resources to help you improve your score. Percentile comparisons. On your score report, you will see two columns with percentages. The first column says, in the U.S., fall 9th grade. That compares your score to all the students nationwide who also took this test. The second column on the right-hand side says in your school. That gives you a comparison of your score to all the students at Warren that took the test. What does the percentage mean? It tells you the number of students scoring at or below your score. For example, if your score was in the 73rd percentile, that means you scored as high as or higher than 73% of students who took the Explore test. It's important to remember that for this test, 50% is average. Therefore, if your percentage was 50% or higher, that means your score was average or above average. When you look at your score report, the first thing that you will see is your composite score. That tells you how you did on the test overall as a whole. It is an average of each of the subtests. Your score will be between numbers 1 and 25, and each subtest will also have a score. On the right-hand side, you will see your estimated plan composite score range. That tells you, based on your performance on the Explore, what you might get when you take the plan as a sophomore. In the bottom right-hand corner of the score report, you will see the college readiness box. What this does is it gives you the benchmarks for each subtest and where your score should be to be on track to be prepared and successful when you get to college. You should have a check mark in one of these three columns, below, at, or above. This will allow you to see any strengths and weaknesses that you may have and areas you can focus in on when trying to better prepare for the plan test. You also should have received a copy of the actual test. The answers to the test are in the middle portion of your score report. It tells you which questions you got correct and which ones were wrong. That way you can go back and look at any questions that you got wrong to try and better prepare for when you see those questions or similar questions again in the future. If you did not receive a copy of the test, be sure to see your counselor for one. What do the college readiness benchmarks tell us? If you are at or above the benchmark at this point in your freshman year, that means that you are on track to be prepared and to be successful once you do get to college. The minimum benchmark score tells us if you are at or above that benchmark, you have a 50% chance or higher of obtaining a B in a first year of a college course in that subject. It also means if you are at or above the benchmark, you have a 75% chance of obtaining a C or higher in a first year college course for that subject. Some people may not be happy with the scores that they got or feel that they can do better. There are many things you can do to help you better prepare for the plan test. You can use any of these resources for standardized test practice. Many of them are free. There are links to these resources on our Student Services website, which is accessible from the Warren homepage. Again, many people feel that their scores could be higher or they are unhappy with the score that they got. Sometimes they think it might prevent them from getting into the college of their choice. Fairtest.org is one place you can look for schools that are starting to de-emphasize the use of standardized tests in admissions. That means that they realize test scores are not always the whole picture of a student, and it might not always give an accurate portrayal of that student's ability. They often look at things like GPA, and some schools even exempt students from submitting ACT or SAT scores if they meet their minimum GPA criteria. Additionally, some schools have started to use ACT or SAT scores for placement purposes in specific courses only. A list of schools that are beginning to de-emphasize the importance of SAT and ACT scores for admissions is available at fairtest.org. A link to this website is also available on the Student Services website. One resource we mentioned to help get free standardized test practice is Naviance. You can access Method Test Prep 2.0 through Naviance. In order to get to Naviance, you can start on the Warren homepage. You will see on the right-hand side underneath the Jump To box the Naviance icon. Once you click on that, it will take you to the login links for the O'Plaine or the Almond campus. Once you get to Naviance, you can log in using your Warren email address and your ID number. There are many additional resources that you can use in helping you plan for your future and to be prepared for college. These are the various links available on our Student Services webpage. If you go to the Warren website and click on Jump To, you will see Student Services Guidance at the bottom. By clicking on that, you will be taken to this page where you can access information about standardized test prep, college visits, different presentations being put on by the guidance department throughout the year, and lots of other important resources. If you have any questions about your Explore results or questions about getting prepared for taking the PLAN and ACT, be sure to make an appointment with your counselor.